His caravan of southern hivers failed once again to pull in any fresh meat for the king. Slaver efforts have risen, ambushing the hivers at every point to dwindle down their numbers for new slaves, which also caused them to catch less people. With this hive soldier being a newbie and the only one left, pity was taken upon him. Trying a new approach, small trading caravans were sent out, and along this batch, this hive soldier is sent like other failures to gather and deliver food. Starting in this southern hive village, my first goal became to get to Khartoum first. Khartoum? How do you spell that? That is because it is the closest town where my hive soldier can get money, food, stats and real gear. For those who do not know, wait and see. It will be glorious. Behind what looked to be a giant dirt-covered bowl, man-made and maintained buildings peeked out. That must be where his destination will be. It's within view, and even though he had no thought, no idea what to do once there, he felt almost excited to go there. Usually the hivers avoid the town, as they'd be shot on sight in larger groups, but he is alone now, a wanderer. Just then he sees a group of quadrupeds, with long necks and sharp mouths. Beak things they are called, and even though this hiver could barely think, his instinctual fear kept him away from approaching death. These are bad news, since I can't even beat one of them, let alone a whole group of them, with just one hiver with, well, very bad stats. Entering Khartoum, my pawn is finally safe now. Let's take a look at the city, shall we? As you can see on this map, there are 3 guard towers, a guard station, 2 bars, 1 crossbow shop, 1 store for construction material and 1 general store in total. This will be useful for later. While looking around in what they called a bar, even though it did not look like a block at all, one of the fighters stared at him silently in the eyes. He did the same in response to demonstrate his dominion. Leaving empty-handed as he had no money to his name, he begrudgingly went out. But on his way out there lies a corpse of a savannah hound. Oh, maybe it was alive, but it certainly died when the hiver whipped at its body, tearing meat, skin, teeth and head out. Perhaps these could be traded for cats. Further down, he loots another body he finds. Then, outside, a group of beak things attack. Thinking that he can gain allies, he joins the battle with the guards, interrupted by one of them checking his bags. He's quickly hit with reality, forced unconscious with just one attack. Phasing in and out of consciousness, he witnesses their might, easily striking down the assault of beak things before he even gets back up on his little legs. He looted what he could sell. Stumbling, he got himself bandages to heal himself, to proceed and loot all of the beak things to make more of these cats. It takes almost 5 hours, but eventually he sold all of their levers and picked their flesh for nutrients, partly to also train his frail muscles. Yet while running around the buildings, tired, he spots an open door, with a strange sensation coming over him, and an overwhelming delicious smell. Hungry food. Must eat much food there. So, how are your sword classes? Good. Come on, tell him, woman. You gotta talk more with your old man. Eat your dirtfish.
I'm not 10 anymore, Dad. I've got my own sword on my back. I'm growing up, and then and I'll be better than you.
What are you? You will cover life in truth.
You will pay for your crime.
Oh no! Don't hurt me.
After having his greatest meal ever in his life, the hiver got imprisoned for his crimes against a pair of parents. He sits wounded inside the cage, which gives him enough time to think about the world and himself. As a consequence of pheromone withdrawal by being disconnected with his hive for a few days, he gained true sentience, individuality, a sense of self and desires he wanted to explore more. Armed with a mind, he reflects on his life and events. The hive was a collective, was comfort. Freedom enabled thought, made suffering. Killing those parents, or at least thinking that he did, he left the child parentless, and it'll likely have to fend for its own while the Bugman finally had a good meal. Something the woman called a dirtfish, he believes. A meal he would never forget. Collectivism was merely mediocrity. Freedom to kill took freedom to live, took freedom to eat good food, but freedom enabled delicious food. Slavery enslaved fellow hivers, gave them less freedom, therefore slavery bad. Hives, however, gave no thought, no freedom. Hives equal maybe bad? He set himself the following moral rule. The super duper delicious rule of truth of Kenshi of the world of the universe, which in short form simply means treat others how you want to be treated. Now walking free with a body even more stiff than if he was to sleep on the ground, the hiver who named himself Dirtfish leaves the police tower, having managed to bribe a guard with his low charisma. Perhaps it was pity. Free once again, he walks to the bar, since that has been the most helpful place so far. Getting up the stairs, he pays for the bed, now that he has the income. He doesn't quite get how to use these beds, but now he could rest easy in the night, letting his heavy eyelids fall, if he had any at all, to fall into the dreamland where he'd imagined eating everything, as much as the Southern Hive King. The next morning around 6 or 7, he wakes up, feeling more refreshed than ever. The hiver goes down and leaves the bar, but while doing so, he meets another, screaming, catching everyone's attention while approaching Dirtfish. Prince. Yeah, that's a prince, okay? You hive, Do I look hive? Yeah, of course I am. Bonk is his name, and before Dirtfish could even understand what the other soldier wanted, they already became a group, a hive of his very own. Taking a look at Bonk, however, it becomes clear that he will be useful. He was stronger, faster, better equipped, someone a weak hive soldier like himself could make good use of. With Bonk recruited, he first recommended Dirtfish to get gear at the armorer, where Bonk recommended the Ashigura armor for its balanced coverage and relative lightness because of Dirtfish's current state, with nomad pants to help with the long distance traveling, especially since those options were within his wallet range. Unfortunately, he could not afford any weapons from the armorer, so they went up and left, Though it seems that in the night there was another animal assault that was put down. With the guards not doing anything with the corpses, Bonk and Dirtfish proceed to skin and house the weakened bodies for profits. It seems that both of them were experienced with this activity. While scavenging the dead, one of the big things got back up again. Of course, Dirtfish's first instinct was to run, but Bonk encouraged him to stay and fight as the big thing was focused on the samurai, or guard. They'd only need to run away when it looked like it was buckling back its head, so Bonk kept a lookout on that. In a short fight, the hurt animal was put down again, making them more money as Dirtfish got a feeling of friendship and now understood the advantages of numbers and knowledge. Now stocked up on raw meat and equipment, the hiver takes them back to the southern hive to deliver the raw meat to stay on friendly terms. On their way they would meet big things and other beasts which they avoided as they now had no samurai around, while coming across other travelers. Eventually, when close enough, they meet with the hivers of the south, granted safe passage due to their southern hive skin and their cargo. Arriving finally in the hive village, Bonk becomes a little nostalgic about when he used to serve the very same hive from which Dirtfish is slowly distancing himself from, even if he did not know it yet. Despite missing them, they did abandon him. On the other hand, Dirtfish accepted him like he was, so after seeing this village from close up again, he feels as if he could end this chapter of his life. As it has gotten dark now, Dirtfish stays the night with Bonk in the bar, a more circular one, after getting a tasty look at meals for himself and his companion. Laying down, he feels satisfied while drifting asleep.